Hello everyone, my name is Lim Si Chi. I'm a teacher teaching in a secondary school in Malaysia, and I'm teaching in SMK Taman Desa. And this is my 12 years of teaching, and at the same time I am a student, a postgraduate student taking Master in Curriculum Instructional in UPM. Now this video serves the purpose to introduce and evaluate our innovation project. After teaching for 12 years in secondary school, one of the greatest challenges that I find recently is a lot of students cannot perform algebra. Of course, when we say algebra, it became a very difficult topic for the students, especially for those students who do not have a good foundation. What do I mean by foundation? For example, they are not good in multiplication itself, okay? Or in Malay we call sifir. So a lot of ideas and a lot of innovation had come out to help the students in memorizing the sifir or the multiplication. So our group also came out with an idea and to serve the purpose to help the secondary school students to engage into memorizing or learning the multiplication. So this multiplication turntables is actually an idea of getting students involved in activities instead of sitting behind the tables and memorize the whole traditional multiplication table. We know that multiplication table, traditional one, is commonly being used, and the students in the primary school, they have to memorize in order to help them to do well in their mathematics. Of course, now we have technology. For example, we have calculator, which helps them to do the operation, mathematics operation. But one of the issues is, for example, this is very solid examples that happen in my class. For example, I ask students what is 9 multiplied with 6. They cannot give me the answer straightforward. They cannot immediately give me the answer. They have to press into the calculator, and the time they press calculator is not like how they are able to press their handphone that quick. Okay, they have to press one by one. 9 multiplied with 6 equals to what? So it takes up time. So you know, our mathematics syllabus is very long, and the students have to be able not only to do multiplication, they have to do algebra, they have to do geometry, and so on and so forth. That it became an issue. So our groups have came out with the idea of multiplication turntable. So in this multiplication turntable, the students tend to use this table to find out, to engage them into learning, especially in the multiplication. Of course, this idea serves for intervention for those weaker students, so that they have motivation to memorize the multiplication table. So one of our benefits, one of the usefulness of using this multiplication turntable is the students collaborate in the learning process. Some of the students will be very fast, some of the students will be very slow. When they are doing it in groups, they will be collaborating with each other, and then at the same time, they will try to find out the answer from the turntable. So the teacher will give out worksheets to them. So in the first phase, the students will have to use the turntable to find out the answer from the turntable and write it into the worksheets. After the students be able to master 50% of whatever that can cover in the multiplication table, we are going to upgrade our games. Then what are we going to do is we are going to give them a numbers, and by using that numbers, the students have to find out what are the factors for that numbers. For example, if let's say I have 56, what is the factors? What are the numbers? What is the numbers multiplied to another numbers become 56? So that is what I mean. So by using the multiplication turntable, students are still allowed to use that. They have to identify what are the factors for that numbers. For example, 56, what multiplied with what is equal to 56? So after applying this innovation, and in my intervention class, I found out that students started to find learning mathematics is fun. It's no longer a very traditional where they have to memorize everything Of course, drilling is still very important. Drill is still very important, but this is the startup for them. When they find mathematics interesting, they will start to get engaged into learning this subject. They no longer find that it is a very difficult subject. I find that this innovation is very effective, even though it is for for secondary school students. Okay, now I'm going to introduce to you all how we use our multiplication turntable. So first of all, the students, in the first phase, we are going to provide students with worksheets like this or something like this. Okay, so in this table, of course, it does look like a primary school student's worksheets, but it is needed for those who are very weak in multiplication for intervention class. So this is my multiplication turntable. So how do we use it is, for example, the first question I have here is 2 multiplied by 4. So how we are going to use it, the students have to find out the numbers. So these are the numbers at the outside, 3, 4, 5, okay? And then these are also the big numbers. So these big numbers and these small numbers represent these numbers here, 2 times 4. Okay, so the one that's in the box here is the final answer. So the question will be 2 multiplied with 4. So first one, I have 2 here. Then you are going to turn the table, and then you have to find 4 for this one. So 2 multiplied with 4. Okay, so 2 multiplied with 4 is 8. So the students will write this answer into their worksheets. Now again, another example. For example, now 9 multiplied with 6. So the students have to find from the outermost part, where's 9? So this is 9 multiplied with 6. So here's my 6. So 9 multiplied with 6 is equal to 54. So this is how the students use the multiplication turntable. Okay, now after 2 examples that given to the students will start to do it by themselves in groups. Okay, after the first phase, after the first stage, if the students have gotten used with how to do the simple multiplication, then we are going to upgrade the questions into a slightly higher level. For example, I give them the numbers of 81. So what we mean by this is I'll provide them with numbers in a bag, so they are going to draw the numbers. Okay, so for example 81. So what they have to do is from the multiplication turntable, they have to find the value of 81 here. So what do I have? I would have to turn it, and then I'll figure out where's the number here. Okay, now, so I found 81 here. So this is 81. So the students will immediately know that 9 multiplied with 9 is 81. So they are going to write it down. What multiplied with what is 81. Now this is very important, especially when it comes to algebra later. So by using this method, it helps them to think reversely. Normally when we do multiplication, we do what multiplied with what, 2 times 2 equals to 4. This time we do it reversely, means like what 4 is equals to what times what. It may be 1 times 4, it may be 2 times 2. So the students will have more possible answer there. By using that method, it will help them when it comes to set question, when it comes to prime numbers, and so on and so forth. So this is how we go to the next level of the games.